Hello my friends, welcome back. Today we travel to a small village in South Africa, a place of rolling hills, simple huts, and a boy who did not know his own destiny. He was not born into power. He was not born into riches. He was born into a proud family, in a land ruled by others. What if you knew that one day you would spend 27 years behind bars? Would you still choose the path of freedom? Would you still choose to forgive your enemies? This boy grew up to ask himself that very question, and his answer changed the world forever. My friends, this is the story of Nelson Mandela. Before we continue, if stories like this move you, hit subscribe, tap that like button, it truly helps this channel grow. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in the village of Mbizo. His father was a respected chief. His mother raised him with love and discipline. He grew up hearing old stories of kings, of warriors, of freedom, long before he understood the word. As a boy he ran through green fields, herded cattle with other children, and listened to elders speak of justice. But South Africa was changing. White rulers held all the power. Black South Africans had few rights. Freedom was not given equally to all. Young Mandela did not yet know the courage his future would demand. He studied law, moved to Johannesburg, and saw injustice with his own eyes. Something inside him began to burn. He did not know it yet, but his whole life was about to change. Mandela joined the African National Congress. He believed change was possible. At first he pushed for peaceful protest, organizing marches and giving speeches, asking for equal rights calmly and firmly. But the government answered with force. New laws divided people by race. This system was called Apartheid, and it touched every part of life. Black South Africans could not vote, could not live where they chose, could not love who they chose if the law forbade it. Mandela watched his people suffer, and he was patient, determined, angry but controlled. Then in 1960 everything darkened. Police opened fire on peaceful protesters in Sharpeville. 69 people died that day. The world was shocked. Mandela was shattered. He realized peaceful words were not enough, and power does not surrender itself easily. So Mandela made a hard choice. He helped form a new resistance, one that allowed acts of sabotage, not to harm people, but to strike at the system itself. It was a dangerous decision that made him a wanted man. Police hunted him across the country. For 17 months he hid, moving from house to house, disguising himself as a driver, a gardener, a worker. Newspapers called him the Black Pimpernel. Picture him for a moment, late at night, engine humming softly, eyes watching every mirror. One wrong turn could mean capture. One careless word could mean death. Courage was not loud in these moments. Courage was quiet. Courage was steady hands on a steering wheel. But in August 1962, his luck ran out. Police stopped his car outside a small town, and Nelson Mandela was arrested. He did not know it yet, but this arrest would lead to the darkest chapter of his life. Mandela stood trial. The charges were serious, sabotage and conspiracy, and the government wanted him dead. In court he did not beg. He did not apologize. He spoke instead of his ideals. He said he had fought against white domination, and he had fought against black domination too. He said he cherished a free society, where all people lived together in equality, and he was prepared to die for that dream. The room fell silent. The judges did not sentence him to death. Instead they gave him life in prison. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a small island with cold winds, hard labor, and a tiny cell barely large enough to lie down. Each day he broke rocks in a quarry. Each day the sun burned his eyes. Each day guards reminded him he was powerless. But something inside him refused to break. He read. He studied. He debated ideas with other prisoners, turning his cell into a classroom of the mind. Years passed, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. His name became a symbol outside those walls. People around the world chanted for his release. Governments faced pressure. Sanctions grew. Protests spread like wildfire. Still Mandela waited. Still he endured. Still he did not surrender his hope. 27 years, think about that number, 27 years of his life taken from him. Would you still believe in forgiveness after that? Would you still believe in unity? Nelson Mandela did. In February 1990, the doors finally opened. He walked out, older, grayer, but unbroken, and the world watched breathless as this quiet giant stepped into the light of freedom. Nelson Mandela walked free, but his work was not finished. He did not seek revenge. He did not seek punishment. Instead he sought peace. He sat down with the very leaders who once jailed him, speaking of forgiveness, not hatred, of unity, not division. In 1994, South Africa held its first free election. For the first time, all people could vote, black and white, side by side, in equal lines. Nelson Mandela became president that year. The prisoner had become the leader. The outcast had become the healer. He served only one term, though he could have stayed in power longer. But he chose to step aside, protecting the young democracy above his own ambition. That, too, was courage. Mandela taught the world something rare. Power is not measured by force. Power is measured by restraint. Power is measured by grace. He showed us that patience can outlast oppression, that dignity can survive even prison walls, that freedom is worth every sacrifice. My friends, think about your own life for a moment. What walls are you facing today? What silence are you enduring? What patience are you building? Mandela waited 27 years, and never lost his purpose. Whatever you are facing now is likely smaller than that mountain, yet the lesson is the same. Stay patient. Stay disciplined. Stay true to your values, even in the darkest room. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013, but his spirit did not end there. His words still guide leaders. His story still inspires millions. If this story moved you today, give it a like, it truly helps this channel grow. Subscribe, so you never miss the next journey through history. And tell me in the comments, whose story should we tell next? Until next time, my friends, keep learning from the past, and keep building your future.